Hey, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Ryzen, man. Today we're gonna be reacting to a very sensitive topic. Um, guy Charlie Kirk has passed away from a tragic shooting. I don't know who he is, if I'm being honest with you. I've never heard of him, never seen him until today. So I'm gonna be trying to educate myself on the situation. I'm just about to be figuring out who he is. So today we're gonna watch some of Charlie Kirk's best moments. Let's work out and see what's happening.
Let's talk about the border. We have brought in 5% of the population of Haiti.
I don't see the issue with that, though. Like,
You don't see the issue with
allowing immigrants into our country. I mean, is that not the foundation of America?
These are illegal immigrants that
people
cut in
seeking
line.
refuge for the best country in the world. Isn't that the whole point of your organization?
Well,
the U.S. is the best country in the world.
Okay, so what I'm getting from this is, and what I kind of heard is that he goes to campuses and I guess debates people. That's what I'm hearing?
People that are
yes,
suffering.
America is the best country. Therefore, its citizens should come first, not foreigners. So we have an obligation to our own people.
So the pathway to citizenship should become easier. Then.
No, we should deport them all back to their homeland.
We should deport them all back to their
homeland.
All the immigrants. Okay.
Well,
we shouldn't
all
make
the
it
illegal
for
foreigners. Yes. Okay. In Springfield, Ohio, in one town, English as a second language speakers in one high school went from 250 to 1,500 kids in 2 years. These communities are being overrun. Go down to Aurora, Colorado, right down the street here. Entire apartment complexes are now run by Venezuelan gangs.
I'm gonna say this. To his point, English isn't the official language of the United States. The United States actually has no official language. A quick Google search would show you English was designated as the official language of the United States in an executive order made this year on March 1st, 2025. This video came out 7 months ago, which means that when he made the video, English was not the official language of the United States. So therefore, you saying that English isn't the most spoken language in a city doesn't really matter. I will say that. I ain't heard him say nothing worth being knocked off for yet, though.
To Rachel Morin, to 11-year-olds that are being killed in DUI accidents, we have a belief that our founding fathers had, which is if your government does not fulfill its obligation to its own people first, its government is not legitimate. And that's what's happening right now. Our government is now providing taxpayer-funded cell phones, hotel rooms, benefits, airplane rides, cash for foreigners, but not for Americans. If you guys as an American citizen want a free cell phone, they'll laugh at you. As a foreigner from Venezuelan, you get one on the southern border. You get a flight to any city that you want. You get a luxury hotel in New York City. You get taxpayer-funded health care. That is the inversion. That is elevating somebody from a distant land over our own people. When our own kids can't afford homes, when our own people are seeing an increase in crime, homelessness, and we have over 50,000 homeless vets in this country. It's a breakdown of the social contract.
Then, I mean, to his point, he's saying that the government is doing wrong. But I guess this is before the new president and all that stuff got into office. I don't know.
Veterans, support citizens more. We should do. So we should spend more on our people with better health care, better social programs. That's literally what you just said.
We should spend it on veterans and not on foreigners.
Sure, and American citizens with cheaper health care. That's what you just said.
Well, hold on. You're
free phones, airplane rides, public transit. That sounds great for Americans.
No, it sounds terrible, actually.
For Americans?
Yes, government should not be giving free phones to anybody, okay?
You said that the citizens should come first in those programs.
Yes, you know how they should come first? By not having to compete against a foreigner for your job.
But
I don't think that's a problem either. Okay. Wildcard opinion. So far, he hasn't said nothing worth getting knocked off for. But I will say this. He not making a lot of great points either. He made some good points, but then he backtracked on himself. And this is my main problem with politics and all this debate and stuff, is that they get so tangled up in disagreeing with each other and rage baiting each other that they don't even hear what the other person is saying. So he just said that we should be backing our citizens and our veterans, which I agree with. I got veterans in my family. My mom worked at the VA. But at the same time, you saying that we shouldn't do healthcare and some of these other things that countries that are having more success currently than us are doing. I'm just saying.
If your own perspective was correct, would you feel comfortable going in Uber right now to Aurora, Colorado, and going to those 3 apartment complexes?
I mean, according to the Aurora police, I probably would. They say the apartments complexes are not overrun.
You should get in the car and go go talk to anybody here and go knock on the door and they'll extort you for cash because we're a country that is open for looting right now. For the entire world, over 118 countries have entered the southern border. That we know of, at least 99 people on the terrorist watch list have come across the southern border. We're talking about people from Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, from Iran, people from Pakistan that are coming here and mean harm to the interior of the United States. Not to mention, we're breaking down what it means to be a citizen. A citizen should be put first above anybody else. If a government does not do that, then the government is not fulfilling its basic obligation.
All right.
The number one obligation is to make sure that its people can have a pathway to a better life and a good life. Not a variety of free stuff, but not have to compete with somebody from Brazil for a home. Not have to no, but not sure. The way that we're not.
I'm gonna just put it out there. I ain't competing with nobody for a home right now, cause these houses is expensive, and these checks is not. You know how expensive a house. You know how expensive it is to live in the United States right now, bro. Like I got a good paying job. Like I earned my living through working every single day. I can't even save more than $500 a month, if that. Like, hey.
Doing that is that we're importing the third world and we're quickly becoming the third world.
So why don't we use our resources to improve the third world so they're not coming here rather than
because
just spending
that's
the
not
same
the
amount
role
of money?
of the American government. You think we should be concerned about Central American politics? I don't care. I care about our own people.
So then
Secure
you don't
the border
care about those people that are sex
hold on.
trafficking
You know why?
children.
Hold on. Of course I care about it.
You say you don't want to spend the money to make that change happen.
Number one, we've spent trillions, hundreds of billions of dollars. It doesn't do anything any good. Number
That's
two,
not true.
Number two, it is not the role of the American government to solve the problems of Panama, El Salvador, and Honduras when our own citizens are suffering and are crying out for help.
So why has the billions?
There is some validity to that. Not 100%, but there is.
The rates of sex trafficking in Central America.
It hasn't slowed anything.
No, it's been affected.
It hasn't affected anything. What you're talking about is bribing these governments, where they then go give it to cartel leaders and say, hey, this month send 20,000 people instead of 40,000 people.
That's not what that money's going towards. It's going towards NGOs and bottom-up stabilization.
You think NGOs spend the money correctly?
Okay, not
Man,
all
you are
NGOs,
so
obviously,
naive.
sure.
By the way, more people are crossing the Darien Gap than ever before. Not to mention, they're coming across on the CBP One app across the border into the interior of the United States in every single state. You cannot continue to have a country if you import an unfamiliar third world this quickly into America.
So there should be a path to immigration.
No, we should have no immigrants in this country right now.
No immigrants.
What's wrong with immigrants? Don't get me wrong, like some of the stuff he was saying valid. Yes, we would like to have less illegal immigrants. Yes, we would like to have less cartel and trafficking. I'm not disagreeing or agreeing with either side right now. But I'm just talking to y'all as a people. What's wrong with immigrants? Maybe I'm just clueless, but like to me they don't do too much harm. If they come in the right way, they do the paperwork, they do the stuff. Like we all like my ancestors was brought here not by free will. Now you got people who came over here who aren't from here, founded the country on land that wasn't theirs to begin with because there was already people here. And now you're saying that people can't come in now. It's just like it's like the pot calling the kettle black, man. Like y'all doing the same thing, different font, dog.
We need a total, complete shutdown of immigration in this country until every single Gen Z person can afford a home and can get their act together and be able to afford the American dream.
So what's your path to Gen Z getting a home?
Yeah.
Just kicking all brown people out?
Not brown people. I think we should.
Immigrants, yeah.
We should. Anyone that's here illegally should be deported back to their country of homeland. By the way, it's a moral position.
So H-1B visas that like generate and stimulate the economy, kick those out.
Well, you know, it's interesting. H-1B. Who here studying computer? Anything? Anybody? Computer engineering? You guys have to compete against a foreigner for a job. That's wrong. Yeah, American. Well, I actually care about the country more than the free market.
So colleges should better prepare students and better utilize government resources.
Well, college is a scam, but yes, we did that earlier.
For computer science, they shouldn't go to college.
Well, actually, you don't need to go to college for computer science.
You don't need to go to college for computer science?
You could do a coding class in a couple months.
You could do a coding class.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alphabet is hiring right now.
You could get a job at Alphabet, Google, for taking a C++ class?
Correct. Yes.
Yes.
They're hiring coders after a 60-day coding class. To answer your...
I'm sorry I keep stopping this video. But again, what is kicking out immigrants, illegal immigrants, going to do for me buying a house? The housing market's still going to be what it is. They still going to charge what they charging. And I'm still not paying that because I can't afford it. I think that if you're being honest, you want people to buy more things. The people who are super rich, who people are at the top in running these businesses, need to pay the little guys a better wage. Minimum wage ain't increased in 16 years. This is the longest time it has gone without increasing. Meanwhile, inflation has been increasing at the most steady rate and actually going at a much faster rate this year. So, like, I don't think the immigrants ain't doing nothing with that. So,
question. A country that ceases to secure its own sovereignty and does not think I care more about my own people than the foreigners ceases to be a country. You're a colony and you're something else. And we are seeing our generosity be taken advantage of. I am all for American charities going down to Panama and helping out. I'm all for people giving to charity.
So we should reallocate U.S. spending towards things that are actually effective for people in and outside of our borders.
Well,
so then we don't have people coming into our borders, and then we can help our people.
Well, no, the way, again, if they come to the border and the border is closed and you say, hasta la vista, go back to Nicaragua.
Or we spend in Central America, they don't have to come to the U.S., and then we have a better U.S. It's the same amount of spending.
No, first of all, to solve the problems of the third world would cost trillions of dollars, and that would all be laundered and not even work. And again, it's not the position of the American government to go throw money around in the Southern Triangle. Instead, it's our country's closed. We're not open for looting anymore. Go make Nicaragua great again. Or go do what El Salvador has done. El Salvador is now a safe and stable country, and they're seeing their GDP go up, and it's not because of us.
Yeah, it is. We put $4 billion into South Central America.
Hold on. And, Bukele barely took the money. You know why it's safe? Bukele has turned El Salvador safe because he locked up all the criminals. He locked up 40,000 criminals and put them in prisons, and El Salvador is now safer than America. El Salvador was the murder capital of the world, and now El Salvador is much safer than America. I think it's wrong if you guys are afraid to walk the streets of Denver at night. I wouldn't walk the streets of Denver at night. Would you guys? No! That's a breakdown of the fundamental role of government. Would you guys?
Hey, I'm sorry. This ain't got nothing to do with the debate at all. But if you scared of walking streets in Denver, dog, don't come down to the South. Don't. Cause like, bro, you in Denver, y'all probably got street lights on and stuff. Like, y'all got police around there that if you call, they gonna show up. Come spend a week down south, bro. Oh my gosh, y'all think y'all scared up there? Shit, y'all gonna see.
There's a reason that
another clip.
Doesn't have a father, and it's because of systemic racism. It's because like black men are more likely to be in prison.
Oh yeah, so why do people go to prison?
For like a lot of the time it's because they're in poverty and they have no other way.
In poverty, we should give excuses for committing crime?
Yes, like if someone is stealing something because they have...
I will say, I don't know if this is because it's a complimation or if this is how his YouTube videos are, but I do not like the way that he's cutting the videos during the debate. The person editing gets the ultimate say-so. So like he can edit this to make these people look bad. So y'all watch for that in these clips, all right?
No money and there's no jobs.
That's so interesting. So you think most crimes are crimes of necessity in the black community?
I'm not saying most.
Something happened to black America since 1965.
You mean the war on drugs?
If that's your contention, that's fine. So in order to go to jail for the war on drugs, you have to be dealing drugs, right? Or you have to be caught with drugs. So if you don't
which is one of like the main jobs that you can have in a like poverty-stricken. Like if there's no jobs, like you're going to do drugs. I mean, you're gonna trade drugs because that's the only option you have.
It's such a difference in worldview. I don't like making excuses for people that do things that are obviously destructive. Secondly, we have a problem in black America. The biggest problem is not racism. It's the lack of dads. If dads are around, kids flourish.
Systemic racism creates family problems. If you take away black people from their families, then they're going to have broken families.
Okay, so But that's interesting. How are you taking them away? Aren't they leaving? If you stay single as a single mother, you get money from the federal government, and it's basically subsidized, if you will.
Sure.
Can we at least agree that if the nuclear family in Black America was stronger and tighter knit, that would be a good thing?
In a lot of cases, yeah.
Why is she hesitating? I mean, like, what he's saying right now is valid. If the families were held together, it would be better. But also, again, two sides, it's a tricky slope, because are there reasons why Black parents are getting locked up? Is it a cycle that they've learned, that they've become accustomed to, that they have inadvertently fallen victim to? Yes. But like, that just is what it is. Like, I also know some people who have one mother in Black homes and they do great. I know some people who have both their parents and they want to be thugs. Like, you gotta do research, and you have to actually get out and talk to people. See, that's my biggest problem with all of this stuff. They don't talk to nobody. Like, you have to talk to the people. Like, you gotta understand. Like I said at the beginning, bro, you gotta talk to people to understand them. You can't just talk to people to try and get your point across. And that's where a lot of this stuff goes wrong.
There is obviously a huge issue in the country
Listen,
with
another person?
healthcare prices.
Okay.
What do you think is the best way to lower costs for families?
The hospitals are gouging prices significantly. We have to try to get at the root cause,
Mhm.
which is the food that we are feeding ourselves and our kids. We have to get to the fact that we are an increasingly sedentary country. We aren't walking enough. We're not exercising enough.
That's true.
And healthcare costs are exploding because we don't actually address the root cause 20 or 30 years prior.
How do we take on those huge food companies?
Well, the first thing is we should have a real conversation about banning pesticides when we're making our food.
That's true.
Ultra-processed food.
That's true. That's very true.
Ultra-processed food should not be on the FDA recommended food pyramid. We have a chronic disease epidemic. It's not because our kids are lazier. It's because we are actively poisoning our kids with food from big ag
That's very true.
We're spraying with all these pesticides.
Nah, this is valid.
And if you look at the ingredient list of just a Lunchables box, we are basically giving kids the worst thing possible for their metabolism, for their endocrinology. So that...
Hey, y'all might not like him, but what he's saying right now is valid. Like, we don't do ourselves a favor as a country with the foods that with the foods that we are ourselves consuming and giving to the children. Two-sided sword yet again, though. It costs money to eat healthy. And a lot of people don't have the money that it takes to eat healthy. But also, he was asked about healthcare. Healthcare ain't just eating unhealthy. Healthcare is diabetes and needing insulin. I'm talking about type 1, not type 2. Having low iron, having other health deficiencies that you need to pay for things. You know, like, that is also healthcare. So not just about what you eat, but also about natural things that happen to the body through genetic mutations or whatever like that. And if we're looking at that, a lot of first world countries, a lot of top tier countries have free healthcare. So why can we not, as the greatest country in the world, not be able to figure that part out? That's just food for thought.
I'm more interested in the healthcare conversation that tries to make sure that a 12-year-old doesn't have to get on Ozempic by the time they're 18 years old. And just so you know, they're giving pediatric Ozempic now.
But don't get me wrong. He's very valid about us not, like, Americans not working out. People hate working out. They don't work out. And that's not good.
They now have to take a shot every week to try to curb their obesity, which has all other sorts of very, very negative health implications. So every day, potentially, right? And so how do we solve that? Well, my personal crusade, we have to blow up the food pyramid, that we have way too many carbohydrates in our diet, not enough healthy fats, and not enough protein. Whoever made that was obviously bought by the big ag companies.
Facts.
And you should just say, I'm not going to have any more high fructose corn syrup. I'm not going to have any more processed sugars. And if there are ingredients I can't pronounce, I should resist it, and you'll be a lot healthier because of it. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
So
Yeah.
I just
Another
have a
clip,
question.
new clip.
You talk a lot about, like, protecting and securing our southern borders. But
I just want to say, Trump ain't never curled 135 in his life. You can't convince me of it. Because if we just going off a basis, I'm assuming this is a 45-pound bar with a 45 on one side, and it has to be a 45 on the other side. Which means, and this looks like he's single arm curling that. So even if it's an easy bar that he's single arm curling, it's what, 25 pounds? He's not curling 115. Not single arm, bro. Nah, bro. This shirt is crazy. But all right, back to the video.
Granddaughter of immigrants, I think that we get into a lot of complicated disputes with the idea that immigrants are criminals or drug dealers and things like that. So I just want to hear what your opinion is on those expectations or those those stereotypes that are put on Hispanic communities, Latino communities, and how they change the way people perceive immigration.
Sure. So, thank you for the question. So you said you're the first generation student or first generation American?
I'm a first generation student.
Cool, great. Second generation American? Did I hear that right?
Third generation American on my mom's side.
Great.
Second on my dad's.
When your grandparents, then, is that right, came
Yes.
to this country, did they do so through the legal process that was involved?
So my father got married to my mother, so he's a legal resident of the United States. She's been here her entire life.
But did she enter legally?
She did. She's
Okay.
she's born here. Yeah.
Got it.
My grandpa on my dad's side entered in illegally.
Okay. So I'm not here to insult your grandpa, right? But we must be very clear that the type of immigration that we support is when you follow our rules and you come on our terms, and that you do not break into a country uninvited and you try to cut.
Can I add something to that? The reason why he left, and a lot of people in Mexico do, is because of the political state, especially in the 70s and 80s, when they decided to move. They have a government that isn't supportive of their constituents, and because of drug problems, their only choice was to move.
Yeah, I totally sympathize. That's not true. It's never the only choice to commit a crime, and we should not put up with it. And so it is an insult.
I can't speak. I done did a couple crimes in my life, man. It's in the past, though.
Decades in line to morally equivalate people that come in and just break in. Oh, I have an unstable country. Like half of the world's countries are unstable. So look, we just have to be very clear with this, is that if you come into the country uninvited, you have committed a crime and you are a criminal. And we could decide that we're not going to enforce our laws, or we could say that when you are a criminal, you should then be punished for that crime, aka sent back to your country of origin, because you were not invited. And it is an insult, again, to the Poles and to the Czechoslovakians and from the Senegalese and people all across the world that don't have the proximity or the luxury just to waltz into America.
You call it a luxury to leave a country that has political tyranny and come into a country with opportunity?
Yes, to live in Mexico, to be able to go 100 miles north and break into America. Do you know how many people in Pakistan would kill to be on that border?
That's why we bring them in.
Well, we shouldn't, right? That's the point. And secondly, do you think that you have a right to immigrate to America?
I think that I didn't have a choice. My grandparents made that decision for me.
And I'm not trying to attack your grandparents, but no one has a right to go to anybody else's country. You are invited. It is a privilege, not a right, to come into America.
Again, just food for thought. Because again, I'm still just learning who this Charlie Kirk guy is. But so I guess in the, what was this, like the 1400s or whatever, whenever we first came, like the English first came to America and they took over a country, they didn't have the right to do that. Did they? Just food for thought. Because how far back are we going? Because if she's talking about grandparents, they probably didn't come over here till like the 50s or 60s, depending on her age and her grandparents' age, you know what I mean? So like, in one side, I think it was like great-grandparents. So again, how far back does that rule apply? Does it apply to people of all race? If someone from Norway or Sweden or France or England decided to come over here and just live, or Canada, if somebody from Canada decided to just come and live here illegally, because that's another border. It's an open border, but it's a border. Is that still a problem? Like, that's just the questions that I would ask. Because I ain't as smart as them to be arguing all this other shit. I don't know all that. I'm just speaking for my own knowledge, because I don't know. I really don't.
Live a life that requires you to have clean water, clean food, clean
Yes,
air.
of course it is.
And you have to fight for that?
Yes, it is not.
But we didn't?
Hold on a sec. Well,
Born here,
hold
we
on a
didn't
second.
fight for that?
Well, my ancestors did fight for that, actually, and I'm a very thankful recipient of many generations of Americans that fought for the greatest nation ever
By
to
doing
exist.
what? Coming here?
Well,
Illegally?
wait, what did my ancestors do? They
Came here
They
illegally.
came over here in 1620, fought in the Revolutionary War, fought in the Civil War, fought in World
So
War I.
because my grandpa
fought in World
didn't
War
come here in
II.
1620, it gives him no right to have a good
no,
life?
he can fill out paperwork and wait in line, like the rest of the world. And then we can see whether or not it's in our best interest to allow him to come in. And so we have to weigh costs and benefits. Do you think that the American government should first have a obligation to citizens before foreigners?
Okay.
Also, just random thought. What do y'all think about U.S. territories? Do y'all think that the U.S., like he's saying, the citizens should be taken into account first? Does that include citizens of U.S. territories? Just move. I don't know. I don't know shit, bro. I'm just talking and watching.
I think we
No,
have an
answer the
obligation.
question.
Here's the thing. Yeah, we're obligated because we're citizens to have the rights that we have, but that doesn't mean we can't open up our borders
That's not
when
the
we have
question.
the process
Hold on a
to
second.
do so.
You, being a younger American, and everyone in the audience, is the
Yep.
first generation in American history to have it be worse off than your parents. So
Facts.
The social, and you agree with that. Social
Facts.
contract, poorer, more expensive.
Yeah.
So wouldn't it be rational for the American government to say, we're going to prioritize younger generation Americans that are American passport holders and citizens before those in another nation?
I don't want to say anything that offends people. But I've
go
already
ahead.
said it, right? I've already said
Yeah.
it. Whatever. I think that the way we're going about it is wrong. And that if we don't have a clear path to citizenship, we won't open up those opportunities for people to come and seek a good life. But I also think
But
that,
it's
yeah,
not-
we are
it's
required
not-
to have those rights ourselves
Seeking a
as
good
American
life
citizens.
is fine. It's a nice added benefit. Our government does not exist to improve the life of foreign citizens. A
But we
government,
should be open to the idea of accepting
of
that.
course we are, if we have our own
Yep.
house in order. We are in chaos right now. We have the most depressed, suicidal, anxious generation in history. Our birth rate is collapsing. Kids can't afford homes.
Yeah.
You guys are drowning in debt. You have to compete against you have to compete
That's
for
true.
jobs against foreigners.
I
Our
don't-
country's a mess.
I don't mind competing against foreigners for jobs. Like me personally, I don't feel threatened by that because one, if it's a skill set or a job that takes skills, then they obviously went to school, learned the skills, and then were well adapted and equipped for those jobs, more equipped than you. But on the flip side, if it's a job like a lot of the illegal immigrants are taking, they're doing hard labor for cash. And it's not steady income. You got to work up every single day, rain, sleet, snow, and go work. And a lot of people aren't willing to do that. How many of y'all in the comments would be willing to go do that? Because if it's that easy, you could go do it. Just saying. Like, if it's that easy. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't think that the whole foreigner thing is valid. Everything else he's saying valid on this point. Pay people a livable wage. How about that? How about the high ups just pay people a livable wage who work for them, and that would make us a whole lot better.
When your country's a mess and your home is in disarray and bedlam, your own government should say, time out. I have a heart for the people of Haiti. I have a heart for the people of every country, but you're not coming here until this generation at least has it as good as their parents. And that is a very simple moral.
That could happen literally in a
Bring
year
people in, they make
if the
life
government
worse
would
for
make a
people
couple
that were
changes.
already here. Should we stop letting those people in?
Do they, though?
Yes, they do. Illegals every day are doing DUIs and kids are dying across the country.
But if Americans
Thousands-
are doing this, it's fine?
Well, it's not fine. They should go to jail. But this
Okay.
is the red herring, is that Americans are invited guests. Foreigners are people that broke into the country that shouldn't be here, and none of those crimes should be happening at all. One of them is a crime of choice. The other is just a crime because that's part of what happens when you have a society. So
What
when you
about the
have a
good
people
that
that are
illegal
murdered by
immigrants do?
illegals, that is because we
Huh?
have decided and chosen.
I think that we'd be a lot
that
worse
we
off
here,
without
and if they
illegal
kill our
immigrants.
people,
I ain't gonna
they'll
lie
be-
to y'all. They be doing their thing, man. They be doing their thing.
I'm just trying to. I know we're not going to agree on
No,
this.
it's
That's
fine.
why I
So,
came up here in the
that's
first
fine.
place. I knew you
Are
were.
you okay with deporting every illegal person that's here?
No.
Why?
Because there's some people here that are not represented well by the media. There's a lot of illegal immigrants here that are working their butts off for the life that
No,
they want.
I don't care if they're working hard. But the point is, what should the punishment be for breaking into a country?
Depends on the crime you commit after
No, no.
you break into it.
Okay, That's it. I'm talking about just the crime is breaking in. What should the punishment be? I break into somebody's home. What should their punishment be?
This is a tough question, Chad. Because if you break into somebody's home, obviously, like, you go to jail. So, like, are we saying that if somebody breaks into the country, they should go to jail? Because then we'd have to build more jails, do all this stuff, infrastructure, all that. But, like, on the flip side, what are we going to do? They break into the country, send them back to their country. Like, is that the punishment? Because, I mean, if they broke in once, what's going to stop them from doing it again? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm just asking questions.
Can you repeat that?
Oh, so if you behave after you get here, that's fine. So to play that out, if someone comes into your dorm room uninvited and they do the dishes and laundry, they can stay?
If I'm not going to do my own dishes, heck yeah. They're doing my dishes for me? Cool. If they don't kill me, I'm not dead. It is what it is, man.
Well, they are killing a lot of Americans, but...
You say they. Like, they are?
Yes,
like,
they.
All illegal immigrants kill people? That's crazy.
Many illegals do, actually. No, but it's just interesting.
What's percentages?
What's percentages? The crime of breaking into a nation should be what it is in Switzerland and Israel and Hungary. Every person who breaks into a nation uninvited goes back to their country of origin, period.
So why
End
is
of
there
story.
an emphasis on the southern border?
Because most people come illegally through the southern border.
The point I'm trying to make is that we categorize all illegal immigrants under the same thing: sex traffickers, drug dealers.
Am I
and
doing
by
that?
you saying all illegal immigrants have to be deported,
Yes.
you're implying that all of
I'm not
them
implying
are
anything.
doing these
I'm being
terrible
sued.
things.
She tried to
and
pull
not
an
a
aura
small
move right
percentage
there.
of them.
If you come into a country uninvited, definitionally you are a criminal.
We're just not going to agree.
It's fine. Then
That's
final
fine.
question.
Again, I think it's fine to not agree. It's not fine to not try to understand the other side. You have to try to understand the other side.
What is a criminal?
What is a criminal?
No. What is it? Would you agree with the definition that a criminal is someone who breaks the law?
Here's where I'm thinking. Here's the thing. I know how.
He got her flustered. He put her in a trick question situation, but, like, I mean, it's a valid point. I'm just over here trying to figure out who Charlie Kirk is. I feel like I got a pretty decent idea. I wish that I could, like, sit down with people like this and just have a talk. Like, off cam, no cameras, no nothing, and just figure out who they are, like, who they really are. Do an interview. I want to do interviews with them. I think that's what I want. Because I think that's what we need to get back to, man. We need to get back to understanding people, caring for people who might not have the same story as you and stuff like that, man. Yeah, after watching this, I don't think he said nothing worth getting, like, knocked off for. That's kind of crazy, right? But look, that's just my opinion. Y'all have y'all's. Let me know if it's some other stuff I need to react to. Let me know if it's some other stuff, like, politically or socially or whatever that I should go and check out, man. Y'all comment down below what else I should be checking out, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Until next time, it's been your boy Ryzen. I'm out. Peace.